Ready for the second half in Saskatoon. Question is, are the Golden Gaels ready to get back into this football afternoon? They trail the Huskies 13-0. And there's the Golden Gaels band in the background. More about that band in just a moment. Queens having a little bit of difficulty as we look at the stats board after 2 quarters here, Leaf. 134 total yards for Saskatchewan. No first downs for Queens in the second quarter.
Yeah, you know, John, I think interesting to note in that statistical story is the Queens' total yards of 75, but what they netted was only 47. Tells you those 4 big sacks by the Saskatchewan front 4 really made a difference.
30 minutes away from a trip to the Sky Dome for the Vanier Cup next Saturday afternoon. And these 4 lucky winners have earned a trip to the Sky Dome in Toronto for the 1989 Vanier Cup. They are eligible to win the grand prize of a brand new automobile at the conclusion of the Watch and Win sweepstakes. So congratulations so far, folks, and good luck next Saturday afternoon in winning the grand prize. The Golden Gaels and the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, the first meeting ever.
How about the Queens band?
How about it? Let's hear it.
I think they deserve a huge pat on the back. On Thursday morning, they all boarded buses to make the long trip out here to Saskatoon to cheer on their team and perform at halftime, which was a great performance. We really enjoyed watching that. And, of course, tonight they will get back on the bus and make the long trip back to Kingston, Ontario. But that group right there deserves a lot of credit. And part of the reason why I am so enthusiastic about college and university football is to see the participation like that by the whole student body.
The Queens band under the direction of Todd Blackburn, the drum major, graduate of Markham District High School.
Oh, I knew you'd get something up in that Unionville area of yours in this afternoon.
Anyway, now they get on a long bus ride home right after this football afternoon here. So it's you got to be tough to be a member of the band as well as a member of the football team.
You certainly do. And, of course, they probably get in around noon tomorrow, I understand. And I guess they'll all be...
noon Monday.
Oh, noon Monday.
Yes.
Noon Monday. And they'll all be at class Monday afternoon.
Thanks for the sign.
Tough to read here. Hi, Mom and Dad. Cheaper than a letter and a phone call. So
certainly is. Second half is underway. And on the return for the Golden Gaels is Dagnon, I should say. He's out to the 25.
Well, Ed Kidd still remains in the ball game. Tim Pendergrass, the starter most of the season for the Queens Golden Gaels, could not perform today. Just too many injuries keeping him out of the lineup. Ed Kidd, I think he might have to take matters into his own hands and run with the football a little bit, try and get a rollout to the outside and away from that heavy pass rush that he's faced in 2 quarters of football.
Offensive coordinator Bob Howes describes Ed Kidd as a raw rookie. Let's hope he can get something going here in the second half. Intercepted his first pass of the second half. The Huskies will score the touchdown. Ken Zapernick, who had the big play to stop the Golden Gaels from getting into the end zone in the first half, has a touchdown on the interception. Zapernick.
Well, you watch the ball, a little floater out into the flat, and easy pickings for number 24, Ken Zapernick, who did not have an interception all season long. He waited to make the biggest one of certainly his career, and there you see, hit just as he is throwing it. Kid throws it up, trying to hit Reed McGruer out in the flat, but Ken Zapernick, as John told you, made a huge play in the first corner to nullify a Queens scoring drive, and now picks up a touchdown of his own.
What a horrible way for the Golden Gaels to begin the second half. They now trail 19-0. And the Huskies will be penalized with a time count violation, getting that convert try underway on time. They will not be too worried about moving back a little bit on that.
No, I tell you, things are going their way. The 5 yards won't bother them one bit. Phil Giebert, the backup place kicker, is in. He's had 2 field goals already, one from 35 yards, one from a little closer. Oh, there you see the time count. Flags down on the second convert try.
or at least the second time they lined up to try the convert. Referee this afternoon is Ron Walsh.
Offside. Queens, number 47. Convert, 5-yard line.
We're going back to where we began. All this for a single point.
We're wasting a whole lot of time here.
Giebert tries again and puts it through. So the hometown Huskies have a rather commanding lead on the visiting Golden Gaels from Queens. And there's a star of the afternoon so far, no question about it, Zappernuck.
Pretty tough for young Ed Kidd. His first start as a university football player occurs in the biggest playoff game that Queens has had this year. And unfortunately for him, things are just not going his way. Fortunately for Ken Zappernuck, his first interception of the season results in a touchdown. And head coach Brian Powers says, go do it again.
Brian is in his 6th year as a head coach with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. Back in 1974, the last time the Huskies made it to this final game before a Vanier Cup. He was a member of the team as a defensive end, and Val Schneider was coaching the team that year, back in 1974. Val Schneider is the athletic director here at the University of Saskatchewan. In the last 2 years, he's come back to take an active role in the coaching program as one of the defensive coaches. He seems to be enjoying himself back coaching a little bit, Lee.
Well, he's a good coach.
Dagnall had difficulty with the kickoff. And he gets up to the 17. And this will not be good field position for the Golden Gaels back inside the 25. Actually back at the 12.
You know, John, even though Ed Kidd threw the interception on his first pass attempt of the second half, I don't think he can get gun shy, and I don't think Doug Hargraves can allow him to do so. He has to come right back out, and although they will run the ball on occasion, I think they're going to have to try and put it up over the top of that Husky defense to get back into this football game.
Phil Beresford gets halfway to a first down on that carry.
Come on, let's get going.
Actually better than 5 yards. Mark it as an 8-yard gain. This will be, mark it as a 7-yard gain. This will be 2nd and 3. And the other runner, Doug Corbett, tries. He is the fullback, number 32. Well, they're going to spot the football, Leaf.
Well, I think they come up about a half a yard short. They will take the measurement, but I think they're about a half a yard short, John.
So, Coach, what do you do now?
Well, you kick it away. I know you trail by 20, but, boy, you cannot give Saskatchewan any free points, and boy, you don't make it here, especially on a field that the footing is not that great. You just take your lumps, kick it away, and hope your defense can play tough and get the ball back for you quickly.
Jacques Climby, number 3. The outstanding pass receiver has been limited to punting action so far this afternoon. He has not had his hands on the football, except for 8 punts in the first half. For Gartner. Tries the other side of the field. And he's back to where he began at the 50 after a long run. 37-yard kick, but good field position for the Huskies.
Don Rowing. First down and 10 Huskies.
David Earl had a pretty good first half. A couple of controlled marches. His running backs are Terry Eisler and Rob Simchick. Inside receivers, Don Farthing. And they share the other spot at inside receiver between Kevin Sander and Lorne Keene.
Well, Queens had to call a timeout there because they were a player short. Dirk Brubacher could not get out onto the field in time, so they decide rather than play a defensive play, one player short, they will use a timeout, and I would think Doug Hargraves is not too happy about that one. You hate to give up a timeout just because a guy forgets to get out on the field. But that's kind of the way the day has gone for the Queens Golden Gaels.
The Huskies hope to be heading to the Vanier Cup next Saturday afternoon if they can hang on to this lead. 20-0.
Pretty good numbers there for David Earl. 11 of 22. One touchdown pass, of course, to Terry Eisler, and the one interception by Randy Zarikny. But really, he has done nothing to hurt the offense this afternoon, and often that's the best thing a quarterback can do.
David Earl on the Huskies, 1st and 10 at the 50. Terry Eisler, number 23. Gets inside the 45. Rob Chimchuk leading the blockers for Eisler.
You know, there's a definite weight advantage to the offensive line of the Saskatchewan Huskies over the D-line of the Queens Golden Gaels. And, you know, it really started to show about halfway through that second quarter, and now into the third quarter, telling even more. A good 8-yard pickup, and now David Earl in a nice position to either run or throw.
Gain of 7. This is 2nd and 3. Huskies across the 45.
Eisler, the ball carrier once again.
Eisler once more.
Well, he comes up a good yard short, and well, this really is decision time for Brian Taurus. And he takes the conservative route and decides that he will try and pin Queens deep in their own territory, as they have been on all 3 possessions of the second half.
First quarter, Leaf, the Huskies were real slow to start offensively. The defense really holding this team into the ballgame. And we talked about the big play when Queens was down inside the 5 with a 1st and goal to go situation. Ended up turning over the football. Lazecki gets a good kick away, bouncing at the goal line and trickling into the end zone. Back to concede the single point is Matt Angus, number 2. The Churchill Bowl on the line in Saskatoon today. The Huskies have a big lead. Welcome back to Griffith Stadium on a sunny Saturday afternoon in Saskatchewan, as the Huskies lead the Queens Golden Gaels by a score of 21-0. The turning point today on TSN's College Game of the Week will be brought to you by AC Delco. First down for the Golden Gaels. They begin this march from the 35, trailing 21-0. Running inside has been tough all afternoon. Doug Corbett stopped after a gain of maybe 1.
You know, John, you talked about the defenses dominating in the first half, and I think that's the way both coaches figured this game would probably go, and they were counting on their defenses to hang in there long enough so the offenses could get on track. Saskatchewan's has. Queens just has not been able to do anything this afternoon.
2nd down and 9 to go for the Golden Gaels at the 35. Ed Kidd elects to roll out. Does he have a chance to throw here? Lost the ball, but it was out of bounds. And Queens will hang on and punt it away once more. Was the Mamer there?
Well, I think the Mamer was there, and, you know, tough spot for young Ed Kidd to be in. You roll out to the short side of the field and have all your receivers that way. Well, you know what? You just kind of run out of room, and with the pressure coming, really not much he could do. And you have to feel for the young man. A big pressure start for him, taking over from Tim Pendergrast, and although he hasn't had a spectacular afternoon, he's been put in a very precarious position.
Huskies with a very tough defense, a defense that is well rated throughout the season. Defense that gives a little bit, but does not give up a whole bunch all the time. And look at this, Hebert on the return. Across the 45, he is not a regular kick returner. He is the regular safety. He is the backup place kicker, but he's having quite a day here today. Phil Giebert does it all for the Huskies. 18-yard return on a 29-yard kick that time.
Well, a good move by Brian Tauris, the head coach, to have 3 guys back to field the Jock Climie punts, because Climie, quite frankly, has been kicking the ball all over the park, and they don't want to let that ball hit the ground. They want to maximize the return, and a nice job by Phil Giebert on that one.
10 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Huskies lead it by 3 touchdowns. And a little high fired that time by David Earl.
Well, they've had success with that play action this afternoon. Of course, Rob Simchick with a good catch on a second down, second and long play earlier. That time, David Earl could not hit him. But when you run that play action off tackle, the outside linebacker most times has to cover him. Mike Boone just could not stay with him. There is the Saskatchewan band. They are a ragtag bunch.
Yeah, they really are. Their name is the Intensely Vigorous College Nine. Maybe we'll get another shot of them later and show you why. The 2nd and 10 for the Huskies at the 45 from the shotgun. Earl calmly throws over the middle, almost picked up. Keene was the intended receiver, and Mike Boone might have had an interception there, number 33.
Well, I think old Mike was scared. They shocked him because he threw the ball right at him, and the crossing pattern once again that set up the first touchdown by Saskatchewan used again number 20, Lauren Keene, coming across the middle, and the ball thrown right into the arms of Mike Boone. Boy, if he could have made that, you know, they need a turnover, something good to happen to them. They just have not had any big plays come their way.
3rd down. Lazecki. And a pretty good kick away. Trouble for the Golden Gaels. And recovered just in the nick of time by Joel Dagnon. He bobbled it.
And he's had a few problems. He had trouble handling that opening kickoff in the third quarter. And Doug Hargraves, now our pal Doug was a flight instructor at Moose Jaw Air Force Base. And our other old pal, Patrick O'Marsden, was at the same base. Now, Doug didn't teach him how to fly, but they said between the two of them, the country was never invaded while they were in Moose Jaw.
Patrick taught himself how to fly. Here's Kidd looking to the far side. Almost picked out. Kidd was looking for Jock Climie. That's as close as Climie has been to a reception today.
Sorry, John. Only the 2nd time they have thrown Climie's way, and really, if you complete that pass, you're almost lucky to complete it, because double coverage, there is just no room to the outside for Climie.
When I first heard Jacques Climie's name, I thought it was the other Jacques, like in J-A-C-Q-U-E-S. I thought it was French-Canadian, but it is Jock, J-O-C-K.
Well, they moved Climie to the slot back position now. That might free him up a little better.
Batted down. Gardner, number 45, I think, might have got his hands on the football.
Well, Greg Mamer, who's had a pretty good football game, the all-star captain of that defense, was right there, and I think he might have got the hand up as well with Sean Gardner. But once again, the Saskatchewan defense clearly dominating the offense of the Queens Golden Gaels, and they will undoubtedly, after this Climie punt, get great field position.
Climie below his average in punting this afternoon. He's got the wind at his back right now. Gardner somehow got away from tight coverage by the Golden Gaels. They had him surrounded and let him get out of bounds. Or let him get away, I should say, and he's out of bounds down near the 20. The flag down.
Well, I think Queens is going to get a break here, and roughing the kicker call should be called.
The flag is in the end zone.
So finally, the Queens Golden Gaels get a break, and there you see number 51, Del Palaga, the 2nd time he has been called for contacting the kicker this afternoon. This time gives the Queens Golden Gaels a 1st down and a bit of a break, as Saskatchewan had returned that punt in a super scoring position.
Queens out from the shadow of the goalpost a little bit, beginning at the 15 with a 1st down. The rookie, Ed Kidd, continues at quarterback. Quick pitch to Paul Beresford. And Beresford crosses the 20. He's near the 25. That's what they need.
Well, what they need is to get a score in a hurry. They trail by 21 points against a defense that has not allowed very much at all this afternoon. And well, it really would be nice to see Ed Kidd march that team right down the field and put one in the end zone.
Gain of 7. This will be 2nd and 3. Golden Gaels out across the 20 now at the 22. On target for Corbett. And he is forced out at the 30. That'll be a first down for the Golden Gaels. First down since the opening quarter. A big one.
Well, it's a good scheme, though. They put Rob Kennedy and Jock Climby in the slot to the wide side, run them deep, and then just bring Doug Corbett out of the backfield. An easy pass to complete, a good pass to try and get some momentum in that offense. And more times, they're putting Climby in the slot, and every time he is at one-on-one coverage.
There it is. McGruer makes the catch. And a quick over-the-middle play.
Let's go, Reed.
Another first down for the Golden Gaels on a bit of a march now.
So quite possibly the contacting the kicker call against Greg Palaga, or Dan Palaga, has put together and enabled Queens to get a drive going, and a nice catch by Reed McGruer. Well, he's got a number of balls on that quick slant pattern this afternoon. His third catch on the quick slant.
First down for Queens. Kidd will throw once more to the far side. Too far for Jock Climby.
Well, the good news is they had Jock Climby open finally, and it was the result of him playing in the slot. He had one-on-one coverage with Zaparanak, but
the bad news,
Ed Kidd
was off target.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10, which has been a tough down for Queens all day. Front four of Saskatchewan clearly dominating in this kind of a situation.
Yeah, that's the story, really. Zero's up for Jock Climby, and he is the best receiver in the Canadian college football these days. Intended for Climby, and picked off once more. Huskies have a great chance to score once more, and do. Jason Huell, number 16, takes it all the way down for the touchdown. 2nd interception return of the day for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies.
Well, a pass that I don't think Ed Kidd really knew where he was trying to throw it to, and Jason Huell, who was in his first year starting on the corner, the hot corner for the Saskatchewan Huskies, makes it his 3rd interception of the season. Pretty happy guy. Only 5'9", 175 pounds. This young man at 5'9" and 175 can bench press 330 pounds. That's more than you and I put together, Wellesley.
Not more than we weigh, but more than we could do. One more for good feelings here in Saskatoon as the Huskies add to their lead. Long way back for the Queens Golden Gaels now. They trail it 28-0. This is the Churchill Bowl from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And the hometown Huskies are walking away with it. Huskies in front of the Queens Golden Gaels, 28-0. Jason Huell has a 49-yard interception return for a touchdown. And that is the 2nd defensive touchdown of the day for the Huskies. Still number 19 is a Husky hero, no doubt about it. It's Phil Giebert they're talking about. He has kicked a couple of field goals, a couple of converts. Played a strong game. Golden Gaels need good field position. Joel Dagnon out near the 25. You missed it earlier. The final is in from the Atlantic Bowl. And a bit of an upset, I'd say. Leith Western over St. Mary's, 38-35. St. Mary's ranked number 1 in the nation. Western number 2. So Western heads to the Vanier Cup, and it looks like they might meet the Huskies. 28-0 here.
Larry Haler against Brian Taurus. It appears in the Vanier Cup. You know, you look back at that Atlantic Bowl, John, and Chris Flynn, the young quarterback from St. Mary's, who has had such an outstanding year, most likely will be the winner of the Heck Creighton Trophy. I know the biggest disappointment for him will be not being able to perform in this year's Vanier Cup. Last year, of course, St. Mary's was there, but he could not play in the game. He had a head injury, and the doctors advised him not to play, so I'm sure
he's had a string of tough luck getting to the Vanier Cup, hasn't he? But anyway, congratulations to Western, because it has not always been easy for the Ontario Mustangs. Out to the 45. On target, Ed Kidd for Reed McGruer. And he has been the #1 receiver for the Golden Gaels.
Well, this is 5th catch of the afternoon. Good throw that time by Ed Kidd. Watch the hit by number 24, Ken Zaparanuk. The Saskatchewan defense has really been physical here in the 3rd quarter. Reed McGruer took a big hit earlier in the game, I believe, from Zaparanuk as well.
5:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. Golden Gaels with a first down out nearing midfield. Out at the 45. No question, the Golden Gaels hampered here this afternoon by the fact that they had to go with their rookie at quarterback, Ed Kidd. Tim Pendergast was shaken up last week in the victory over the Ottawa GGs. And he was unable to start this game today. Jason Huell, number 16.
Not sure that would have made a huge difference, John.
No.
The Saskatchewan defense so dominating this afternoon. Jason Huell, you see, leaving the field with that 49-yard interception return for the touchdown. Doesn't look like he's too ill in health. He'll probably come back to finish this ball game.
1st and 10 Queens. Kidd looks to the far side. Matt Angus, number 2, has his first catch of the day. Still nothing for Jock Climby. And we expected him to be a big part of the story.
Well, I think Doug Hargraves expected him to be a big part of the story, but as Val Schneider told us before the game, they were not going to allow Jock Climby to beat them. It would have to be Reed McGruer, Paul Beresford, or one of the other players on offense, and I think it's been just an absolutely superb scheme by Brian Taurus and his coaching staff.
Got a pass interference call out there, declined. And the first down will stand. John Gardner was called, number 45. Golden Gaels' march will continue. They are now at midfield. It takes them a long time to move the football. This is Beresford trying the outside, and the run has not worked well for the Golden Gaels all day. Forced out by the Mamer, Greg Mamer.
Well, Mamer just did a heck of a job to string that play out to the outside, and you hear Doug Hargraves saying, Paul, turn it upfield, but really Greg Mamer string the play out so far. You'll see him at the top of your screen, number 69. See how he strings it out? Really no room for Beresford to turn upfield. That's just really tough defense. The physical defense of Saskatchewan really taking the toll here in the 3rd quarter.
2nd and 11. Kidd stands in and fires. He's intercepted once more. Picked off this time by Del Palega. And Palega has a head of steam up as he crosses the 35. Too many interceptions. A 30-yard return on that one. There's still lots of time to go for the Huskies. They already lead it 28-0. Happy times in Saskatoon. One more interception, Leaf.
Boy, oh boy, 3 in the 3rd quarter now for the Saskatchewan defense. Middle linebacker Del Palega gets the interception, and he turns into a big bruising fullback all of a sudden. Watch the run here. Like, I mean, he knows what to do with that
Look
ball.
at him.
Change his hands, the whole ball of wax.
He might have been a fullback in high school. What do you think?
Well, I think there's a good chance. Or a quarterback. Everybody was a quarterback at one time. Del may be a little too big to be a quarterback.
1st and 10 on the turnover. The Huskies find themselves at the Golden Gale 35. Earl looks long for Gardner. No catch. Tight defense in there.
Well, Randy Zarickny is the best defensive back. We've mentioned that a number of times this afternoon for Queens. He has an interception already in this ball game and timed it perfectly to come over the top of Jordan Gardner. And watch the right arm of Zarickny. At the last second, there it comes. Knocks the ball loose. Gardner actually had it. You'll see right there, and really a heads-up play by number 38, Randy Zarickny, who, of course, was an all-star in the OQ football conference this year.
David Earl will go from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Unloading quickly, looks long once more. Same receiver, same results.
Same defensive back.
Gardner
Well, you have to
was
be
closer the previous try, Lee.
It was. Well, I'm really impressed with the offensive line and running backs of Saskatchewan and the job they have done this afternoon protecting their quarterback, David Earl. They knew Queens was going to blitz and at times bring 6 and 7 guys. And, boy, I can't really remember any significant pressure on quarterback David Earl this afternoon. And I'm sure that's something that has been a big surprise to Queens head coach Doug Hargraves.
Too many men on the field for the Golden Gales. And one player got off just in time. Bouncing into the end zone. Matt Angus will concede the single point. 1 point does not matter much right now to the Golden Gales, who need about 3 quick touchdowns.
Or a single. And it's now the U of S Huskies, 29-0.
Everything has gone right for the Huskies this afternoon, Leif. I think they are well prepared. They have taken advantage of everything that's been offered. And they have played very solid defense while it took a while to get the offense on track.
You know, John, if you want to draw a parallel to a CFL team, I think you'd have to look at Edmonton, where they play such outstanding defense and then just wait for the offense to take charge of a game. And that's exactly what Saskatchewan has been able to do.
Gain of 6 for Beresford, number 23. Paul Beresford, 18 carries for 44 yards this afternoon.
It's Mike Lazecki, the punter and place kicker for the Huskies, and he does have the bad knee and will not place kick this afternoon.
Over the middle, good catch by McGruer.
Well, there's a natural seam created when Jock Climby is to that side of the field as well, and as they have done all afternoon, they have double covered him. That opens up the inside seam for McGruer. I believe his 6th catch of the afternoon, 4th on that particular pattern, and a good pattern for Ed Kidd because it's not a long throw and a pretty easy one to complete. Well, I don't know if you can hear in the background, the Saskatchewan fans are giving them the hey, hey, goodbye song already.
Listen, hang on.
Man, that is insulting. 2:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. The old hey, hey, goodbye. That is a little early.
Well, it's taken Saskatchewan fans a year or 2 to get this close to a Vanier Cup.
Hi, I'm Gail from Queens. Now, that's mean, guys.
Here's a good opportunity for the Golden Gales as Beresford breaks one and gets inside the 30-yard line. A 34-yard pickup.
Beresford, the ball carrier with a pickup of 35.
Deepest penetration for the Golden Gales since the opening quarter.
Well, nice job along the right side of that offensive line. Sam Stankovic and Ron Herman sealed to the inside. Beresford with the good cut there to get past Dan Dewar. And then he is off and running. Just not enough speed to outrun Saparanuk, who seems like he has been everywhere this afternoon in that defensive backfield for the Huskies.
That'll help Paul Beresford's average. Until a big 34-yard gain, Beresford had some difficulties. Holding call will advance the Queens Golden Gales even deeper into Husky territory. It is a first down for Queens. First down at the Saskatchewan 26. The rookie quarterback on target for Rob Kennedy, number 9. Still, Jock Climby has been shut out.
Let's go, defense. Go and crack it now. Let's go.
Rob Kennedy began his collegiate career as a Bishop's Gator. Decided he wanted to transfer to Queens and did so. I know our old pal statistician Bobby Layden, who's watching, probably can't believe why anybody would want to transfer from Bishop's. Of course, his son went there.
29-0. The Huskies lead the Golden Gaels. Queens on a bit of a march as the flag goes down. Beresford trying the right side. See what the flag was all about.
They don't give you much of a preliminary indication on these ones, do they? Although that one's pretty easy to figure out. Offside against Saskatchewan, and you could hear some comments from the bench saying, hey, guys, don't help them get it in the end zone. We want to preserve that shutout. Make them do it on their own.
Minute 45 to go till halftime. Left till the end of the third quarter. Hang on a second.
I'm not doing the third quarter over again.
McGruer stopped by Zappernuck. Gain of 5.
There's Jock Climby at the top of your screen. There's the two Saskatchewan defensive backs, Zappernuck and Errol Brown, and they just leave him and go make the hit on McGruer to the outside, but you can see how they've taken away Climby and forced him to go other places.
It is Beresford in for the touchdown. First of the afternoon for the Queens Golden Gaels as Beresford bursts in from just outside the 5-yard line.
Well, I think it's really nice to see Queens get on the board here. They have not had a lot of good things happen to them happen to their team this afternoon. Doug Hargraves says, great drive today, guys, and it really was. Capped off by the 5-yard touchdown run by Paul Beresford. Mike McGruer with some big catches to keep the drive going.
Long time since we've seen Jamie Galloway. He adds the single point. It is 29-7. The hometown Huskies out in front of the Queens University Golden Gaels.
Well, you know, with only 53 seconds remaining in the third quarter, a lot of football left to be played here at Griffith Stadium, and Queens finally breaking the goose egg on that long drive engineered by quarterback Ed Kidd. And I would think if you ask Brian Towers right now, like, we think he's got everything under control, but I bet you he would tell you that he is still a little nervous about this game, and if Queens can ever muster up some defense and create a turnover, they could find themselves back in this game in a hurry.
Saskatchewan had 16 points in the third quarter with no first downs. Those are the interceptions. 2 for touchdowns.
Well, one by Ken Saparinuk, 24-yarder, and then, of course, Jason Hewell, a 49-yarder, both to the left side as Ed Kidd threw to the tough side for a right-handed quarterback.
Still a minute to go, 53 seconds in the third quarter. Huskies set up a good return out across the 40 to the 42. Simchik. He's had a good day, too. Here's the Queens scoring drive. 85 yards in 6 plays. You're right, Coach, it was a good drive. 6-yard rush by Paul Beresford.
Okay, they did the good part. They scored. They got into the end zone. Now,
turnover right here might help.
They need some tough defense, and a defense that seems to be wearing down just a touch. That offensive line of the Saskatchewan Huskies has taken control ever since about halfway through this second quarter.
Look at the numbers on David Earlo. He is 0 for his last 6 passes. He's had some trouble. Make it 0 for the last 7.
Well, you put a lot of pressure on your secondary when you give David Earl that kind of time to throw, and I think Doug Hargraves would agree on 2nd and long now. They have to bring about 7 people, try and get some pressure on Earl, make him throw a bad pass, try and get the turnover. There you see the numbers. He has not had a great day. Of course, he hasn't had to. The defense has played so well.
He has engineered a couple of drives. 21 seconds left in the third quarter. The Huskies in front of the Golden Gaels, 29-7 here in Saskatoon. Second and 10, Saskatchewan. And Earls is now 0 for his last 8 attempts.
Well, Earl knew the blitz was coming. You want to get rid of that ball quickly, and really had nothing open to hit. So the Queens Golden Gaels do a nice job on defense. Will get the ball back, and stranger things have happened. Certainly will keep my interest level up a touch if they can get the ball back and put another drive together.
Should be the last play of the third quarter. Good kick. Dagnon on the return. Good move. And that gets him out to the 40. A 38-yard kick, 8 yards on the return. And that'll be the third quarter at Griffith Stadium. The University of Saskatchewan Huskies are 15 minutes away from a berth in the Vanier Cup against the Western Mustangs.
At the end of the third quarter.
Fourth quarter at the Churchill Bowl about to begin. The Huskies in control. Queens with a first down. McGruer from Ed Kidd. That has been the most popular passing combination for the Golden Gaels here today. Not at all what we expected with Jock Climby in the lineup.
Here are the numbers after 3 quarters of football. There you see first downs. Queens surprisingly way out in front of Saskatchewan. They trail, of course, by 22 points. Turnover's been the big story. 2 interceptions for touchdowns by the Saskatchewan defense in the third quarter. Mike McGruer, or Reed McGruer, rather, having a pretty good afternoon. George Cootie is doing our stats. Mr. Cootie, how many catches this afternoon for McGruer? 8 receptions, 66 yards, so they have not been the long bomb variety.
Just over the middle.
But you know what? They've been the ball control variety, and Reed McGruer has provided them with that.
Second and 5 for the Golden Gaels now. At the 45, Ed Kidd rolling. To his right. And he is through for McGruer once more. Heck, no, it is Jock Climby coming up with his first reception of the afternoon.
Hey!
Into the fourth quarter before Climby got his hands on the football offensively.
All right, Jock. Ed Kidd finally getting an opportunity to throw to the big gunner in the offense for Queens. And, boy, he had to make a great catch for his first catch of the afternoon. And nice to see him finally getting involved.
Climby comes to the near side this time. First down Queens across midfield now at the Saskatchewan 50. Beresford submarined at about the 52 by Del Palagas.
Boy, from tackle to tackle, he is an outstanding middle linebacker, number 51, Del Palaga. An interception in the third quarter, and, boy, any run off tackle, he has been around the football all afternoon.
Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7 Queens. Again, 2nd and long.
How about Saskatchewan in the third quarter? They scored 16 points and never had a first down.
The Huskies have not moved the ball offensively in the second half at all. Kidd has McGruer, and McGruer has another first down inside the 40. Golden Gaels on a bit of a march here.
Well, that's a good job. They had Rob Kennedy and Jock Climby clearing out deep. And the favorite target of quarterback Ed Kidd this afternoon has been Reed McGruer. His 9th catch, a good catch. He knows he's going to take the hit, too, from Ken Zaparanuk, who has also been around the football every time this afternoon a ball has been thrown.
First and 10, Golden Gaels. Inside the 40 at the 39. Beresford again. He breaks one. Paul Beresford still going. Gets one block. Beresford slides at the 10. Now that is a little more of what we expected to see from the Golden Gaels this afternoon. The ability to get the running game going. Beresford has broken 2 now.
Well, watch how he just blows through that line there. Good hole on the right side, opened up by Sam Stankovic and Ron Herman, and then it's all Paul Beresford as he takes off down the sidelines. Looked like a pretty good hit at the end, but Beresford was falling down, not much of a hit at all.
22 carries, 116 yards for Beresford. First down for the Golden Gaels as Kidd puts it up. Jump ball, almost intercepted by Jason Huell.
Trying to hit Rob Kennedy on the alley-oop, and I'll tell you what, had Ed Kiff thrown that ball any higher, these blue skies might have brought a little rain.
Oh.
That was up there a little too long. The wind's going to hang that off, and that's pretty tough for your receiver to adjust to that one.
Came down with frost on it. 2nd and goal to go. Golden Gaels at the 10. They need a touchdown here. Beresford has about 3.
Well, they have a tough time sealing off the outside as they try and spring Paul Beresford to the outside, and you'll see good defense coming right at you there. There's our old pal Ken Zaparanuk again making the play, and boy, has he made a number of them this afternoon.
They're going for 3, Leaf, with 12:21 to play in the final quarter.
Well, I'm kind of surprised. Jamie Galloway, a reliable kicker, the all-star kicker in the OQ conference, and they decide, Tim Pendergrass, who comes in to hold, decides to take a timeout. Maybe they want to just talk this one over one more time.
They have a fake in the book?
I'm sure they've got a fake in the book. He's got the bad wing, though. I don't know how well he can throw. You think he's got one throw left this afternoon in that arm?
If he's got one throw left, now's about the time to do it and put it into the end zone for 6.
I would think so.
29-7. The Huskies, with a couple of interception touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter, really put this game out of reach.
You know, you don't like to sit up here and second-guess coaches, but really in this situation, trailing by 22, you know, even if you don't make it, you force Saskatchewan to start deep in their own end with an offense that has produced little or no offense here in the second half, and frankly, I'm surprised that they're settling for 3 points, if, in fact, that's what they do.
The field goal is good. So it is a 19-point differential with 12 minutes to go. And maybe it is not over for the Golden Gaels of Queens. Here again, the intensely vigorous College 9 from the University of Saskatchewan. I think they're all playing a different song.
Yeah. They are a motley-looking crew, but they're having a great time.
Hang on, though. There's a little problem. The Queens band is over here to the left a little bit, and they're playing as loudly as they can, too. Meanwhile, on the field, the Huskies spring another one out of the backfield as Terry Eisler heads inside the 30. What a big run for the Huskies and Terry Eisler. No flags are down just when they needed it, just when Hargraves felt that he might be getting a little momentum. A 43-yard run for Terry Eisler.
Well, watch how they seal off the outside, and Terry Eisler sets it up himself. He initially takes it off tackle, and has the speed to break it to the outside, and just simply outruns the Queens defense. Well, just when you think you might be getting back in the football game, the Saskatchewan offense comes to life.
First down for the Huskies at the Queens 33. Simchick cannot hang on to the pass from David Earl. David Earl, 0 for his last 9 passes for the Huskies. His numbers will not be impressive. Second and 10. Huskies from the shotgun. Earl on target for Simchick. Simchick breaks the tackle and heads to the end zone. He is forced out near the 10. Golden Gaels defense could have come up a little bit bigger this afternoon as well, Leaf. A couple of big plays might have helped along the way.
Oh, I think so. And Andy Day, number 18, has a great opportunity to make the hit out here in the flat and force a third down, but he can't hang on to Rob Simchick, and he knows what to do with it when he gets free. 22 yards down the sidelines, and Well, I think the Saskatchewan Huskies here have an opportunity to just put this game away.
First and goal to go. Huskies at the 10. Eisler, touchdown. Terry Eisler had a big run to get the Huskies deep into Queens territory and then finishes off the drive with a 10-yard touchdown. He's been a big part of the story, particularly late in the game.
Sorry, John. Good kick-out block by number 32, his running mate, Simchik. And Terry Eisler pretty much on his own the last 3 yards. Gets into the end zone, and I would think that could be the last nail in the coffin for the Queens Golden Gaels and Doug Hargraves this afternoon.
10 minutes and 30 seconds to play, fourth quarter. On the scoreboard, it reads 36 for the hometown Huskies and 10 for the visiting Golden Gaels. Now the Huskies on their way to the Vanier Cup. It's a pretty good bet as you look at the scoreboard right now. Well, a lively crowd on hand at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. The hometown Huskies have engineered another scoring drive. 75 yards in just 4 plays. Terry Eisler has the touchdown, a 10-yard rush. And here you see Eisler really didn't have a big problem getting into the end zone on this carry.
Good blocking along the right side of the offensive line. Brian Elton, Cal Hobbs do a nice job to seal off to the inside. Rob Simchik kicks out. And Terry Eisler with a good cut right there to get by Courtney Trelevin.
Look at this. We should have brought Ashley and Katie. They could have played in the sandbox here on the sidelines at Griffith Stadium while we did the game.
Isn't that wonderful? Parents can come and watch all the action, and the kids can have a good time right down in the heat of the action by the sideline.
They're in the long jump pit down there. See if the Golden Gaels can come up with a big return here. They cannot, out to the 35, and not much more than that. Special teams have not been a big part of the action for the Golden Gaels here today. Joel Dagnon on the return once more. (36-10). Huskies closing in on a berth in the Vanier Cup. Tall order for the rookie Ed Kidd against a very tough Saskatchewan defense today. Kidd got the call at quarterback when Tim Pendergast was unable to start this afternoon. The head coaches look on. Brian Torres of the Huskies talked about him at the early part of the game. He seemed a little bit nervous, but obviously he has things well in control. His team very well prepared for this football afternoon. Kidd throwing, and it is caught by Climby. Second catch of the day for Jock Climby.
Boy, nice catch by Climby. You really can see he is a talented receiver. He does the little things so well. He found an open area and just stayed right in it. It wasn't a great throw, but he shielded off the defender, Errol Brown, and made the good shoestring catch. He is an outstanding player. Has not had a great afternoon this afternoon. Only 2 receptions for him. But you can see his abilities, and I am sure some CFL team is watching him pretty closely, if not all 8 of them.
2 for 23. The receptions have come a little late for Climby and the Golden Gaels. And we have a penalty. We'll take that back and nullify it. Referee this afternoon, Ron Walsh. I have not seen the call as yet.
Let's go back and have one more look at the catch, and possibly they're saying that Jock Climby did not make the catch. Well, that's tough to tell from that angle. Doug Corbett's back was kind of in the way, but I guess they ruled that Climby did not make that shoestring catch, and sets up a 3rd down situation.
Reed McGruer would tell referee Ron Walsh that that was indeed a catch if he were allowed to. Reed's had a pretty good afternoon. He has been the #1 receiver for the Golden Gaels. 9 catches. 75 yards. 36-10. The Huskies leading the Golden Gaels. And Jock Climby is forced into his punting role once more. Possible fake, and Climby does throw it. Out to the near side on 3rd and 7. Dan McCullough makes the catch. Is he enough for the first down? I don't think so. Doug Hargrave very disappointed with the offensive output of the Golden Gaels here so far today. It'll be a turnover as the play did not develop well.
Well,
what can you say, Lee?
I don't figure it out. When you don't gamble on the 5-yard line, you gamble deep in your own territory. I know the situation's a little different, but I guess that's why coaches get paid the big money. They get to make all those decisions, and Dan McCullough comes up about 4 yards short, so Saskatchewan will take over on the turnover.
New running back in there for the Huskies. Dimitrushin, number 21.
Run him, Bart! Run him!
8 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Huskies closing in on a Vanier Cup appearance next Saturday at the Sky Dome. Turnovers, far too many for the Queens Golden Gaels. A couple for touchdowns.
I step it in.
Earl will throw. He has time. Far side, flag down. Completes to Dobrinsky, but a holding call may bring it back.
I think it's roughing the passer, John, on number 49, Keith Boyd, and that was a super pass pattern by Rob Revering. He took his man so deep and then came back to the sidelines, and I'm sure that catch will stand. Roughing the passer will be called. They're going to see number 49, I believe, Keith Boyd, come in just a little bit late, make the hit, and great pattern, though, by Rob Revering. See how he came back towards the sideline, and you keep that separation between yourself and the defensive back.
Jock Climby just a little disappointed with the offensive output of the Golden Gaels here today. Again, a rookie quarterback did not help the situation one little bit. Golden Gaels put some big points up on the board against a pretty good Ottawa team last week in the Ontario-Quebec final. 1st and 10 for the Huskies.
You ran the
Wrong route. Closest receiver was Jordan Gartner. .7:32 to go. Well, David Earl may have to be a little sharper next week in the Vanier Cup. What do you think, Leif?
Yeah, I would think so. I think he's going to have to produce a lot more offense because I think you can figure that Western will put some points on the board. Larry Haler, head coach of the Mustangs, another trip back to the Vanier Cup.
2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Earl stands in. And he had to get it away. Farthing was the intended receiver.
Bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Huskies continue to look to the end zone with 7:05 to go.
You know, John, we've mentioned this a couple of times, but I think it's worth repeating. You talk about the performance of a David Earl this afternoon. He didn't have to generate a lot of offensive production because the defense scored some touchdowns for him, and the defense played so well. But the big thing that he did only threw one interception that was really meaningless and didn't hurt the team at all through his play.
And 3 more to the total as Phil Gieberts, the backup at place kicker, has had a perfect day, has he not? Make it 39 for the hometown Huskies and 10 for the visiting Queens Golden Gaels. .651 to go. 39-10, the Huskies out in front of the Golden Gaels.
Well, see, the band is sounding a lot better. Do you think the Suds have kicked in a touch?
Well, I think they're sounding better right now because they're not playing. Now there is the Golden Gaels band. They face a long, sad trip home to Kingston beginning about 9 o'clock tonight. They will be back at noon on Monday. And if you can imagine, the band from Queens left on Thursday at about noontime. There could be some tired students down there as they try and get ready for class on Monday afternoon.
I would think so.
All right, here is the vigorously intensive College 9. Vanier Cup tickets, care of Val Schneider, the athletic director here at the University of Saskatchewan. If you're interested in getting down to the Vanier Cup to support the Huskies in this area in particular. Nice catch. And there is the jock climbing we expected to see.
Well, I'm not surprised they didn't call a roughing call on the sidelines there against Dean Iwanger either, but Doug Corbett on the handoff throws a really nice strike to Jock Climby, and you want to see a nice catch? Watch this one coming up. And even a better pass. Well, that's great. Now watch the hit right here. Well, that should be a 15-yarder right there. You got to protect those players along the sidelines, but Jock Climby now with his third catch.
And Paul Beresford might have done well to be throwing the football a little earlier this afternoon. 39-10. Golden Gaels trailing the Huskies with 5:50 to play. Kid over the middle. He is intercepted again. Picked off by Jason Huell. That is his second interception of the day. He lugged one back for a touchdown earlier, and this one will just finish off another Queens drive.
Well, the inexperience of a young quarterback really showing here in the second half for Queens. Ed Kidd giving up his fourth interception in the second half, and Jason Huell with his second of the afternoon. Really a ball that had no chance to be completed into Reed McGruer.
Oh, look at the traffic down there.
Yeah, that's tough throw. And, you know, Doug Hargraves knew that they were in tough this afternoon with a young quarterback starting, and really his worst fears have come true this afternoon as Ed Kidd just has not been able to do the job for them.
New quarterback in for the Huskies, the southpaw Todd Baker.
Interception by number 29, Dave Burley. So on Todd Baker's first pass, he's trying to get in and get warmed up. Dave Burley gets the interception, and had that been earlier in the ball game, might have a bit of a different story here. Nevertheless, Dave, part of the two Burley brothers in the secondary for the Queens Golden Gaels. Brother Mike mans the other inside safety spot, and Dave set third interception of the playoffs.
5:04 to go. Queens with a first down at the 40. Kidd. I think he's picked off again. Another interception. So Kidd has had a tough day. As Dean Iwanger comes up with his first of the afternoon, but his first appearance on the football field, I think.
This throw. This looks like a field goal pass with the rotation on that ball.
Ooh, a little wounded, huh?
I'll tell you what, Iwanger made a heck of a catch.
Those are tough to hang on to when they're spinning like that.
Hang on to. Dean Iwanger, 5 interceptions on the season. Now add 2 more in the playoffs.
Turnovers, too costly for the Golden Gaels. Flags down as Dwayne Demetrian carries. 4:34 to go. 39-10. Huskies leading the Golden Gaels.
What is that?
You could hear referee Ron Walsh in the background, a face mask call. A matter of time now for the Huskies to move on to the Vanier Cup. First ever appearance in the Canadian College Football Finale. We'll have it for you next Saturday, live on the Sports Network from the Sky Dome. Baker remains in at quarterback. Trevor Maurer, number 34. familiar number and familiar colors in Saskatchewan from a year or two ago, Lee?
I would think so. Number 34, George Reed, a legend with the green and white. Taylor Field. Boy, they have a big playoff game tomorrow afternoon in Saskatchewan.
All right, now listen, who are you taking in that one?
I like the Stampeders at home. Don't send me cards and letters from Regina, but...
I can't believe you turn on your old team. I can't believe it.
Well...
Huskies are not about to quit this football afternoon. Patrician once more.
Say that name 5 times in a row real fast.
I hope he doesn't carry it 5 times in a row.
It's a nice run by Dean as he gets to the outside. Look at the good cut there to split the tacklers and little acceleration. And boy, Saskatchewan very deep in all areas of personnel on their football club. Running backs, receivers, defensive personnel.
.335 to go. Huskies with an insurmountable lead. They give it to Dwayne once more. This time, he is unable to pick up substantial yardage.
I think I called him Dean. My apologies. Dwayne, Demetrician.
I'd apologize, too, if I've pronounced it incorrectly a couple of times this afternoon. It's a mouthful.
Nice opportunity for head coach Brian Talris, though, to give some of his backup some playing time here in a bowl game with 3:05 remaining. Todd Baker at quarterback, Demetrician at the running back position.
Baker fakes it this time. Fires a little bit low. Intending that for Maurer, number 34.
John, I have just been informed that they have selected Ken Zaparanak as the game MVP. And boy, I
Not a bad choice, huh?
Oh, what a great choice that is.
3-minute warning on the field here at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. The hometown Huskies are cooling off. They head to the Vanier Cup. 2:47 to go, 39-10. The Huskies comfortably in front of the Queens Golden Gaels. Phil Giebert.
Can he make it 4 for 4?
You see, you jinxed him. You should not have mentioned that 4 for 4 possibility because he was having a pretty good day until you said that.
Now listen, you know why I did it though? Like Phil's a good guy, had a nice chat with him before the game, great player. But you know, like Mike Lazecki is the field goal kicker, and I don't want old Mike to lose his job to Phil now, just in one game here.
Because Phil's already got regular assignments in the secondary, hasn't he?
Sure. See, like Mike won't have anything to do now if he loses his field goal kicking job.
Well, Mike has been the punter here this afternoon, but he was unable because of injury to handle the place kicking charge. Kidd looks to the far side. McGruer has another reception. Reed McGruer has had a pretty good afternoon. 25 yards there.
Boy, what an afternoon McGruer has had. 10 catches, an even 100 yards. Ball possession type of receiver.
40-10. The Golden Gaels just playing out the final 2 minutes, 9 seconds of this afternoon. New runner in there for the Golden Gaels. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Corbett, number 32. He has been there from the start.
Second down and 3 yards to go. Now the Huskies 43.
Too many turnovers by rookie quarterback Ed Kidd, really sealing the Golden Gaels' fate early in the third quarter. Leaf, they were behind at halftime, but we're certainly not out of it. The 2 interceptions for touchdowns really sounded the death knell for the Golden Gaels this day. Kidd Gets out of there. He has some wide open space. Forced out by Jason Huell at the 15.
Well, Matt Angus tried to throw a block on Jason Huell downfield. Had he been able to make the block, Ed Kidd would have scored easily. And this is something that I think young Ed Kidd will have to do in the future of his football career, is take off and run with it when you can't force it in downfield. He does a nice job there, 28-yard pickup. Jason Huell, who's had himself a nice afternoon in that defensive secondary for the Huskies, forces him out of bounds.
Minute 34 to go. Queens inside the 20. Fired behind Jock Climby there. Well, it's been a long afternoon for the Queens University Golden Gaels, but I guess there's always next year, Leaf, and I want to say hi to Deanna Armstrong and the rest of the Queens students back there in Kingston watching on television. There is next year, folks. This is a young team.
Who is Deanna?
Well, that's Lisa's best friend. Her oldest daughter's best friend
Okay.
is a Golden Gael back there at Kingston in third year, likely in tears at this point. Beresford, and he is stopped in his tracks.
Well, I tell you, there's still some helmet popping out there, and you see number 47 on the defense for the Huskies. Troy Keene getting a chance to play. There's still some bashing going on out there.
62, Ryan Russell with the tackle.
He is one of the guys that has the Bobby Jurison headband on, too. Boy, Jurison made that famous.
Is he making money on those, Bobby, do you think?
They were setting something up. I'm not sure if it was for charity or not.
Into the final minute now. A long afternoon for the Golden Gaels, in particular their quarterback, Ed Kidd. And that's the kind of day it has been. Errol Brown, the rookie cornerback, getting over to knock it away from Jock Climby, who was waiting for a touchdown in the end zone.
Now, John, no replacement for speed, and number 11, Errol Brown, who is a rookie in the defensive secondary, was the fastest high school graduating player last year in Saskatchewan, and he signed up, letter of intent to come here to U of S. He's on the 1989 Summer Games Sprint Relay team, so you know he has got some jets.
He has performed at this stadium then.
Yep.
This is where they held the track and field events, Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon, at the Canada Games this summer. Well, how do you like the Huskies' chances when they go up against the Western Mustangs next week?
I'll be quite honest with you, John. I haven't seen Western play this year, but I know they must have some kind of football team if they were able to go down to Halifax and beat St. Mary's at their own park. So I think Brian Tallis and his coaching staff will have their work cut out for them, getting prepared for that big Vanier Cup game. I do think, however, that the offense will have to come up with a bigger effort next week at the Sky Dome.
.43 seconds remaining now.
The ball carrier once again brought down by 68. Jason Fuller.
Well, talking to head coach Doug Hargraves prior to the game, he did not really expect his young Golden Gaels to make it all the way to a playoff match, and to this playoff match in particular in 1989. So there is hope for next year with a lot of young, experienced players returning to the Golden Gaels.
I think it must be mentioned, too, that Saskatchewan, on the other hand, had 11 of 12 starters back on offense this year, 8 of 12 starters back on defense. So, I mean, you're talking about a veteran football team who wanted to make a run at the Vanier Cup because, you know, this is definitely their year to take a shot at it.
Matt Angus. He'd be lucky to hang on to that football, but he did do it. Now 20 seconds to go. One play or maybe two for the Golden Gaels, and then a long ride back to Kingston tomorrow. For the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, a party tonight, I would think, and preparation starting tomorrow for the Vanier Cup next Saturday afternoon at the Sky Dome.
Back intended for
13 seconds remaining.
second down and 10.
It's been a long spell for the Saskatoon football fans. For the University of Saskatchewan Huskies have not been this close to a Vanier Cup. They have not made it to the Vanier Cup ever. Their closest chance at an appearance came in 1974, and they lost out that year in the Western Bowl. This year, a very well-prepared team has sidelined the Queen's Golden Gaels, and the Huskies are headed to Toronto. They've had a few bounces today, have they not?
They have. Oh, the head coach got it. Now Bill Parcells from the New York Giants as the Huskies give it to their head coach, Brian Towers. And that has to be a little chilly.
No, it's a lovely afternoon here today, Latham.
Get out of here.
It was 0 when we began.
In Miami, it was a lovely afternoon. No, actually, you know what? The weather's been really nice out here. We have enjoyed ourselves. And I would like to compliment the Public Relations Department for both schools who provided us with a great deal of information, making our job a lot easier, and a tip of the hat to them.
That'll be it. Here come the Huskies, Toronto. The Churchill Bowl champions of 1989 and headed for the Vanier Cup against the Western Mustangs next Saturday. We'll have it live for you on TSN. Happy times for everyone involved with this Husky football operation. They put together a very good effort. Slow start offensively this afternoon. They got it going when they had to. A very tough defensive ball team. The final is 40-10.